Hello from Penang. So in this video we will tell you about the famous clan jetties of Penang. First of all, let's explain what's a clan jetty. A clan jetty is the jetty of a clan. A lot of Chinese immigrants had come to Malaysia at the end of the 18th century. So they came here as families, as groups, mostly from the Fujian region of China. And they are mostly Hokkien people, so that's why Penang has a distinct Hokkien culture. But when they came here in the first place, there were not many Hokkiens living here, so they formed clans so they could stay together and be strong together. They found jobs and settled here. I read on the internet that they used to live more inland before and they were occupied by trading. But then when these jetties, the piers, were established for the trading ships that are coming from other countries, they started to move to the seaside so that they could handle some of the jobs here, like some of the labor, yes. So they could also offer some transportation services for the bigger ships that are coming from abroad. So they were smart and they settled here, and they formed, like, for every jetty, every pier, a family settled down. So that's why the names of the jetties differ. Today we are starting with Ong Clan Jetty and Lim Clan Jetty. They are adjacent to each other, and they are located just at the end of Beach Street, where Beach Street meets Pangkalan Wild Street. And actually right here we have the ferry terminal, so it's right next to it. There's a car park here, and now we are going to enter Ong Clan Jetty. So jetties are basically villages that are on top of stilts on the water. So this is a typical jetty, and this one is not a very touristic one, so it's hidden in plain sight. So it's how it looks like from above, I think in 1910. So this is the Lim Jetty around 1910, and it goes like this. So we can walk a little bit, we can observe the houses of the locals, and if you come maybe early in the morning, you can see they are practicing some religion. Also, these are all houses, so try to be a little bit respectful. So see, like, small streets here. This is like a fisherman village, but mostly they are doing trading. And actually families are living here. Some of these jetties have become very, very touristic, but these ones are not touristic, and they're living here. So we don't want to disturb most people, so we're just going to go to the seaside of the Ong Jetty and Lim Jetty. This is like finding a treasure, like in the middle of a touristic town, bustling town, you find this very local, authentic village, but you don't want to disturb people, so it's a bit of a thin line. And here it is, the temple at the entrance of the Ong Jetty. And they are actually used, especially during Chinese New Year. These are very lively. And let's go to the seaside of the jetty. So I think from this point on, it is called the Lim Clan Jetty. So Ong maybe is the more part that is on the land, and Lim is where it goes to the pier. So here is another street that looks very authentic. I'm just gonna walk, can't resist it. And we are actually walking on water. after taking an irresistible tour in between the streets of private houses of people, now we are heading to the Lim Jetty's pier on to the sea. So it's hard to imagine, like in the old days. I think these jetties are now 100 years old, and in the old days they used to be bustling by trading ships. Ships are coming from Burma, coming from Indonesia, and then people are, embarking, disembarking, and big boxes should be here, should be a scene. So today is just a peaceful place, a little bit muddy, but still very authentic. So looking out from Lim Jetty, you can see the other jetties in the distance there, and some other close by houses. So I see the Chew Jetty, the really popular one there. And then I think maybe before that we have the Tan Jetty, which we will stop by now. Oops. And here is the famous bridge of Penang. Lim Jetty, there is a temple. I don't know the names. So hot, yes. They're simple but very nice. So Penang is a great treasure if you want to observe the Hokkien culture or the historic Malaysian culture. It's a bit hot but still very breezy, especially during sunset time. You can come here. Nothing, because there's nothing. Now we are on our way to Chew Jetty, the most famous one of all these jetties. So back in the time, we thought that Chew Jetty was the only clan jetty here, but apparently it's not. There are 9 clan jetties in Penang. 2 of them are demolished, but 7 of them are still alive. So we just saw Ong Jetty and Lim Jetty, and now we are going to the Chew Jetty. And we are passing by many food stalls, by the way. Satay stalls, noodle stalls, and we arrived to Chew Jetty right now. Is very, very crowded. Not like Lim Jetty, as you saw before, and this is the entrance. So now we are going to enter Chew Jetty and give you a walking tour here. So off we go to Chew Jetty. This Chew Jetty is, as you can see, much more crowded and became a little bit touristic. But still, you have the back alleys, the streets here, and people are actually living. But I think half of the houses, or maybe more than half of the houses, are now shops today where you can buy souvenirs or maybe have a drink, coffee, or a noodle or something. As you can see, this is not very authentic. So we hear that some of the people living here in the Chew Jetty have already moved. Still children are playing. And these settlements are standing since 1882, as we have read just now. And there is this, I think, famous ice kacang, the ice cream shop here, the ice dessert shop. And it's a bit breezy. So at night time, I think they will light up here. And also Chew Jetty has some famous murals, like as you can see here. And a very beautiful porch, but overlooking some mud. Just maybe 300-400 meters after Chew Jetty, there is the Tan Jetty. Tan Jetty is one of the oldest ones here in Clan Jetties in Penang. So they are actually fishermen from Fujian, China, and now we are going on to the Tan Jetty. Okay, so this is the Tan Jetty. So it's notably smaller than Chew Jetty, and we are trying to get a picture, but it's very narrow, so watch out or you can fall. Okay, now I'm gonna head back. Because there are 3 more jetties that we are going to see. Okay. And our next jetty is the Lee Jetty. So Lee Jetty, there is an event today here. I don't know what this is. Maybe kind of a gathering or maybe a wedding. At night time this looks much better, but now they have already lit up the doors. So Lee Jetty is a place where the original Lee Jetty clan had to be moved from their original place in 1960s. So they moved here, and so this is a relatively new jetty. It's not as touristic as the other jetties, so it's relatively small and beautiful. So we are passing by lit up doors, and Lee Jetty people, this family, used to have the job of transporting sailors from the big ships to the shore, yes, and back. So this was their job back at the day, but nowadays they are working inland in a touristic job. one of the last two jetties that we're gonna see in this video is the new jetty, because it's the new jetty. So I don't know when it was established. It says 1960 here, but as far as I could find on the internet, they are relocators from Chew Jetty because it was too crowded. And they especially mentioned that it's mixed because here is not only one family, but I think people from multiple families, mixed families are living here. So it's a mixed jetty. So it's very short, very small. We're just gonna take a look at it shortly. Gerçekten şeymiş lazım. Yani gerçekten insanlık hiç de turist yok. Kimse de bunu bilmez. Çok şey diyor, otantik. Gerçek hayatı görmek istiyorsanız burası. Şöyle geliyorum ben de şu sokağı göstereyim. The last jetty of today is the Yeoh Jetty, which is the 7th jetty today that we are seeing. So this is again one of the one of the oldest ones, and it's very small. There is they say it's mostly on land as well. I think there is a temple here. There are temples in each of the jetties, but this one has an interesting god, which is resembling a dog. Let's see, I think this is the temple, but I'm just at the back of the temple, so let me go. So I don't want to disturb people. Hello. Here is the temple, but I don't see the deity. So, after visiting the temple, now we are heading to the jetty, the Yeoh Jetty. So it's, they say it becomes very crowded during the Chinese New Year celebrations, but other than that, it's very peace and quiet. Also, it's a great spot to watch the sunset. Maybe you can see the view from here. Even though it's messy, it looks like a painting, doesn't it? Messy painting. And here is the Yeoh Jetty. despite the romantic ending we just had for the video, the real ending is here with the curry puffs. Curry puffs are curry puffs in Malaysia, which are done with sometimes tuna fish, but our favorite is the chicken and curry with potatoes, inside some dough. Wow, the sunset behind me is stunning, and curry puffs are the best for an early dinner.
Pre-dinner.
Pre-dinner, yes. Appetizer, because I'm so hungry now.